Okay, so let's start. These students are always late. Okay, so here is the example 999, 999, 9999. What is the question they ask is what is the sum of n terms if I consider this sequence? Till n terms if I consider n can be any number. So what will be the sum of these n terms? So if you observe the sequence, this sequence is not in 99 upon 9 is 11. 999 upon 99, oh, it can't be 11. Okay, this sequence is not GP, so we cannot use SN formula of GP. Neither this sequence is not AP, so we can't use SN formula of AP. The given sequence is neither AP or not GP. So what we have to do is we want still find sum of these numbers. Okay, and this will continue till nth term. N terms. Okay. So next step what I do here is I'll take 9 common from each and every term. If I take 9 common, I'll get here it as 1 plus, then I'll get 11 plus, then I'll get triple 1 plus, and so on. Get 10 terms. Okay. After taking 9, this is what we got it. So what I do is now I split the given terms. One I'll keep as 1 only. Yes. 11 I can write it as 10 plus 1. Agree? And 100 and this is just let me check the question. This is 777 77. Split. Instead of splitting, what you can do is just a minute. Yeah. Let me rearrange the terms, not taking the common. 9 I'll write as 10 minus 1. Yeah. This way it will be easy to solve. And 99 you can write 100 minus 1 plus triple 9 you can write as 1000 minus 1. Okay. And this process will continue till n times. Now what happens is, can I write this as 10 plus 100 plus 1000 plus and so on. Yes, I'll get minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 and so on n times. Everyone agree this way? Just rewriting the terms as they appears. Now this, if I consider this term 1 plus 100 plus 1000 plus and so on, I think this forms a GP. Okay, so this term if I consider specially, let me so my A term will be 10, R will be is also 10 value because 100 upon 10 is 10, or 1000 upon 100 is also 10. Only this particular bracket terms forms a GP, which I colored with red. So this forms a GP. So we can find the sum of n terms of the GP by using SN formula of GP. So let me insert the SN formula. I think everybody remember what is SN formula of GP. Okay, so SN formula of GP is 2 A into, that is 10 into 1 minus R to the power of n. So that is 10 to the power n to the power of n upon 1 minus 1 minus is AN formula. Okay. Or you can write this as, if I insert the formula once again, this will be 10 into, I'll keep 10 to the power of n minus 1 so that you won't get the impression that I will getting the negative values. 10 power n minus 1 upon 10 minus 1, which is 9. So this is sum of n terms of the first one. What do you say about this one? What you get by adding all these minus ones? Can anyone tell me what do we get by adding all these minus ones? Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. What will give you the answer? Is minus n. Why it is minus n? Because minus 1 is repeating times. So it will give me minus n. So what we do here is, my final answer is going to be, this will come. This is the sum of all the numbers. Minus n will come. So if you want to simplify one more step, you may take the LCM here. So LCM is going to be 9, and here even I open the bracket, so I'll get 10 into 10 power n is 10 power n plus 1. Then I'll get minus 1 into 10 is minus 10, and minus n into 9 is minus 9n. I'll put minus 9n minus 10. So this will be the answer for sum of n terms. You can check whether your answer is right or wrong. How do I check is, I'll take n value is, for example, 1. You see what you get if I take n value is 1. What do you get the answer? If I take n value is 1 means sum of 1 terms. Sum of 1 term means my answer has to be 9. So substitute n equals to 1 here and check your answer is going to be 1. Is it coming? We should get 9. Sorry, we have to get the answer as 9. Is it coming if I take n is 1? So if not getting, somewhere we have done the mistake. 9 is 10 minus 1, 99 is 100 minus 1, this is this. So A value is also 10 and R value is also 10. Sn equals to A into R minus 1. So if I put n equals to 1, I'll get it is 2, 10 square is 100. 100 minus 19. 100 minus 19 is 81. 81 upon 9 is 9. I think we got it right. Okay. So this is how you solve the question. Is that clear for everyone? Yes, it is coming. There are another type of question also. This is 9. So 9 is just 10 minus 1, 100 minus 1, 1000 minus 1 we can write. But if I consider another example, something similar to this, 7 comma 77 comma 777, 7777, and so on. So what should I do? Should I read this as 10 minus 3? If I write here 10 minus 3 is 7, but 100 minus 3 is not 77. Got it? Or you have to write is 100 minus 33, no, 23, then 1000 minus 223 something. So it will be a difficult task. However you expand, there will be still one term where you cannot add them. So what I do here is, so let me show you. We'll convert into the known term. So let me put solution. You want the sum of these numbers. So 77 plus 77 plus and so on. Okay. So if I take 7 common from the terms, this step I do same. So I'll get it as 1 plus 11 plus 1 plus 4 1 plus and so on. I take n times and close the bracket. Now what I do here is I'll multiply and divide with 9. Both numerator terms and denominator I'll multiply and divide with 9. So it will become 7 upon 9 into, so here if I multiply numerator with 7 and 9, actually you can do 7 into 9, 56, sorry 63, or that 9 you can multiply in the brackets. So it will come as 9 plus 99 plus 9 plus 4 nines plus and so on, and times. Is this step clear for everyone? Just by multiplying and dividing with 9. Ramesh, good morning. Better wake up early. Okay. Now this 7 by 9 I'll keep as it is. Now some of these numbers we know how to add it. So for timing, what I do is I use the answer from previous question, but in the exam you have to show how to find the sum of these numbers. Okay, just by writing the answer won't give you the marks. Okay, so it will be 7 upon 9. Let me put this one, x and 8. So 7 upon 9 into sum of all these numbers. We already derived the formula 10 to the power of n plus 1 minus 9n minus 10 upon 9. So the answer is itself, no issue. Is that clear? Okay. It is clear for everyone. So this is one type of question. They may ask for 4 marks. Next we have is geometric mean. As we discussed in the last class, arithmetic mean. So this class we have geometric mean also. We have the formula for geometric mean, that is GM is equals to, in arithmetic mean what we discussed, arithmetic mean of two numbers, and geometric mean is given by square root of AB. If A and B are the two given numbers, if A and B are two given numbers, then the geometric mean is always be given by under root AB. If you want to check, for example, if I take the sequence as 2 and 8, A value is 2, B value is 8. If I want to insert between 2 and 8, okay, if I want to insert the number between 2 and 8, so I need, I'll insert, after inserting whatever the numbers you get, okay, whatever the number you get, then all the three numbers together, it must form a GP. So this A value is 2, B value is 8, so under root 2 into 8 is 16. So under root 16 is 4. So if I insert the another number 2, 4, 8, still it will form a GP. Okay, so like this you can insert between 2 and 4 also. You can insert the number between 2, 4, 0. So under root 8 will come here. That will, and here under root 32 will come. So form a GP. So that means as in the AP also, between the any given numbers A and B, we inserted n numbers till it formed the AP. Similarly in geometric mean also, if A and B is given, we can insert n numbers between A and B. So still it will form a GP. Okay. So let's derive the formula. Geometric mean, if I give A and B, I think I'll show you here. So we are inserting n numbers, G1, G2, G3, G4 till Gn between A and B. So my final GP is going to be A comma G1 comma G2 comma G3 comma and so on Gn comma B. So here we know we are inserting the n numbers. Already A and B is there. So in the sequence, total we have n plus 2 terms. I think everybody agree. And your n plus 2 term is B. A is the first term, G1 is the second term, G2 is the third term in the sequence, and so on. B is the last term. So here I can conclude your nth term of n plus 2th term. So let me write here. A n plus 2, A n plus 2th term is going to be B. Okay. I think in AP also we discussed there will be n plus 2 terms. So n plus 2th term will be B. In GP, what is the nth term formula? An formula is A into R to the power of n minus 1. So here also I'll write the formula of A n plus 2th term. A into R to the power n plus 2 minus 1 equals to B. If it is n, then I used to write n minus 1. Here you have n plus 2. So that's why I'm putting n plus 2 minus 1. Okay. So if I simplify further this one, let's see what you get. You get A R to the power of n plus 1. Base is R and power is n plus 1 is equals to B. So if I go one more step simplification, I'll keep this R to the power of n plus 1 here is equals to, you have B upon A. Okay. So here I'm trying to find what should be the R value I have to consider so that I can insert as many numbers I have as I want. So finally your R value is going to be R equals to, let me take the brackets. So here you'll get B upon A. And here, for example, if you have R square, it comes to the right hand side, it will become 1 by 2. Okay. So here you have power n plus 1. When I bring it to the right hand side, it will become 1 upon n plus 1. Okay. So this is the formula for R if I want to insert the geometric mean. B by A whole to the power of 1 upon n plus 1. Similarly, we derive the formula for D in AP also, if you remember. D equals to, I think, B minus 1 upon n plus 1. And here it is B upon A whole to the power of 1 upon n plus 1. Once we know the R value, I can insert as many as numbers you want. What is B represents? A and B are the two given numbers. And here n represents how many terms you want to insert between A and B. If I want to insert 5, then A value will be, sorry, n value will be 5. If you want to insert 10 numbers, n value will be 10. Okay, so this is how you get the values of R. Once you know the value of R, then I can find first term is A, second term is AR, third term is AR square, fourth term is AR cube. Like this, you can insert as many numbers as you want. So derivation of this formula is clear for everyone, or anyone has doubt? Yes, students? Is it clear? Okay, good. To an example. That's it. Insert three numbers between 1 and 256. Okay. So let me take the example. It's coming in red. Let me change the font to black. Yeah. Between 1 and 256. So immediately I'll take A value as 1 and B value as 256. And how many numbers I have to insert? I have to insert three numbers. Am I right? Insert three numbers. So if I want to insert three numbers, my n value is going to be 3. So we have A value, we have B value, and we have n value. So what I have to find here is I have to find R value. So let me copy the R formula once. Okay. And I think you can keep it in the font. So R value, I got it. Now let me substitute A value, B value and R value and see what we will get. So B value is 256 and 1. So 256 upon 1 will be 256 only, whole to the power of 1 upon n plus 1. N is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay. I have 256 upon whole to the power of 1 by 4. So what you can do is 256 can you write as a power of 4? Base can be any number, but power should be 4. Why I'm saying power should be 4? Because here I already have 1 by 4. If power 4 will come, then 4 and 1 by 4 will get cancelled. So I think 256 is 4 to the power 4. 4 into 4 is 16. 16 into 4, 64. 64 into 4, 256. So 256 I can write as 4 to the power 4, and already I have 1 by 4 here. I use the exponents formulas. Exponents 4 and 1 by 4 will get cancelled. Finally, I left with the base, which is 4. So hence my R value is 4. Now I want A value is given as 1. My next term is AR, which is 1 into 4. 1 multiplied by 4, which is equals to 4. Next term is AR square. AR square means 1 multiplied by R square. R square is 16. So which is equals to 16. Next term is AR cube. So AR cube means 1 multiplied by R cube. R cube means 4 cube. 4 cube is 64, which is equals to 64. I think I inserted 3 numbers. A is given. This is given number. And these 3 numbers I inserted. What are the numbers I inserted? AR, AR square, AR cube. 3 numbers are done. Okay. And my fourth number is B value. B equals to 256. Once you get all the values, you just write down the numbers and check whether it will form the GP or not. 1, 4, 16, 64, 256. Will it form a GP? Yes or no? 1, 4, 16, 64, 256. 4 upon 1 is 4, 16 upon 4 is 4, 64 upon 16 is also 4, 256 upon 64 is also 4. Yes, it is forming a GP. So is this clear about arithmetic mean and geometric mean for everyone? Obviously, arithmetic mean is also. Now this is how you insert the numbers between arithmetic mean and geometric mean. Now we are going to derive the relation between arithmetic mean AM and GM, arithmetic mean and geometric mean. We know arithmetic mean formula is A plus B by 2. If I have two numbers A and B, arithmetic mean will always be given by the formula A plus B by 2. A plus B upon 2. Okay. And if I go to geometric mean, the formula of geometric mean is under root AB. This, yeah. Here it is geometric mean formula under root AB. So if I find relation means whether they are equal, whether one is bigger than other. If it is so, which one is bigger than which one? So I can write AM minus GM if I find. Then I have A plus B upon 2 minus GM means under root AB. So if I take the LCM here between both the terms, so what I'm going to get is LCM is going to be 2. So here you'll get a plus b minus under root under root ab, but 2 will come. Okay. So can I convert this into an identity? Okay, let me add one more step. Equals to, this will come as a plus b minus 2 root ab. Can I write it as root a into root b? Will you agree? Root ab can be written as root a into root b. So is this in the form of something a square plus b square minus 2ab? But you may have doubts, I don't have a square or b square. Yes, we don't have now, till now, but we can have it now. Let's see how it will be changed. Any idea? If no idea, then we'll give the idea. What I do here is just I'm manipulating. Let me decrease the font size. Then it won't fit in this. This one. What I do is here you have a. I can write a as root a whole square. Can we? A can be written as root a whole square. Let me insert the equations for this also. And b can be written as root b whole square, then minus 2 root a b, 2 root a root b upon 2. So denominator 2 I am not touching anything. Now this is in the form of x square plus y square minus 2xy. Okay, we converted into identity form. So what is the identity for that? The identity for that is a minus x minus y whole square. This symbol, x minus y whole square. So here x is root a minus root b, root a minus root b whole square upon 2. Okay. We got it as root a minus root b whole square upon 2. This is our geometric mean. Can I say this number will always be positive? What do you think? Root a minus root b whole square upon 2, can I say will be always a positive number? Everyone agree? Or anyone has any objection? Say this is always greater than or equals to 0. Everyone agree? Yes, okay. Why it is always positive? Because whatever you get root under root a minus root b, even root a minus root b is negative, but square I have. Square of negative number is always positive. That means your numerator will always give you positive and denominator is 2, which is positive. So positive number upon positive number is again a positive number. So hence it is always greater than or equals to 0. So that means am minus gm is always greater than or equals to 0. I can exclude equals to 0. Equals to 0 will come when a and b both are equal. Okay. If you want to keep same, so I can conclude finally arithmetic mean is always greater than or equals to geometrical mean. Okay. So this is the relation between AM and GM. Okay. Arithmetic mean is always greater than or equals to geometrical mean. Okay. So this is the relation between AM and GM. So instead of root terms, here they solve with the squaring on both the sides. They are given the example, if AM and GM of two positive numbers A and B are 10 and 8 respectively, find the numbers. So here the example is AM is given as arithmetic mean is 10. So AM value is given as 10 and GM value is given as 8. So AM is given, GM is given, and they ask you to find what is A and B values. The question is here, what is A equals to and what is B equals to. Simple. So arithmetic mean is given. That means A plus B upon 2 is equals to 10. Then I'll have A plus B is equals to 20. Okay, this is equation number 1. Just I'm sending 2 to the right hand side. Next, geometric mean is given. So geometric mean means under root AB equals to 8. Right? Under root AB is equals to 8. But when I do square on both the sides, can I say AB equals to 64? Okay. When I do square on both sides, I have AB equals to under root AB. So when I do square, it will be AB, 8 square is 64. I have two equations and two variables, but these are not the linear equations. I mean, they are linear equation in two variables because one is addition and one is multiplication. So what I do here is just use one more formula here. Let me insert quickly. So these formulas we already studied. I can write A minus B whole square formula as A square plus B square minus 2AB. Or else I can put this way, A minus B whole square as anyone remember this formula? A plus B whole square minus 4AB. Can we do that? A minus B whole square as A plus B whole square minus 4AB. Can we do that? Because in polynomial chapter as we discussed. So we can write that formula. So which is equals to, now I know A plus B value is 20. So A plus B whole square means 20 square, which is 400 minus 4 times of AB. That is 4 times of 64. 4 times of 64, I think 256. So which is equals to 400 minus 256. What will give me? 144, I think. So A minus B whole square is 144. So I can write A minus B is equals to 12. So I know A plus B is 20. A plus B equals to 20 and A minus B equals to 12. Now we have the pair of linear equations in two variables. When I add them, I think I write 2A equals to 2, then A equals to 16. If A is 16, I think B value will be 4. B value will be 4. So this is how you derive. If AM and GM are given, you can get the values of A and B. Okay. So this is, maybe you can say, decreasing AP. Because A is starting value is 16 and the ending value is 4. So it is the decreasing AP. Is this clear for everyone? Yes, Pranav Sharma, we did. Yes. Good. Okay. So they are taken because a minus b whole square is 144, then a minus b value can be plus or minus 12. So if I take plus 12, I got a is 16, b is 4. If you take a minus b as minus 12, then you get a is 4 and b is 16. So both the ways it is okay. Any answer you can consider. Did we start a 9.3 exercise or no? Did I told you to solve any questions from 9 point? No, right? Let's make it S now. I think first question, find the 20th term and nth term of the GP. We can do find the 12th term of the GP whose 8th term is 192 and the common ratio R is given. 8th term is given. By substituting in the 8th term, you'll get the value of A. Once you know A and R, you can find the 12th term. 5th term, 8th term and 11th term of the GP PQS. I think this also given. 5th term means A into R to the power of 4 equals to P. 8th term means A into R to the power of 7, that is equals to Q. 11th term is that is A into R to the power of 10 equals to S. Now once you get the P value, Q value and S value, substitute here. You take the LHS. LHS is Q square. Q square means your Q value is A into R to the power of 7. When I do square, then you will get A into R to the power of 7 whole square, that is A square into R to the power of 14, that is Q value. Then you have to multiply P into S. P value is A into R to the power of 4 into S value is A into R to the power of 10. So that also will give me A square into R to the power of 14 only. Okay, that's how you can solve this. What is suggestion? Till till 7th question you solve it. Okay, from 8th onwards we'll discuss in the next class. Is that okay?